declared a national pandemic over a year ago yesterday. How has it affected your business?
Oh, well, it's affected it in quite many ways, but in one way it was good, and in most ways it's been bad. So the question is, which is good and which is bad? We used to have two stores, and our just before the pandemic hit, about 6 weeks, our landlord in downtown Ottawa, decided that, we were on the verge of maybe signing an extra lease, for another year type of thing. We were on a kind of a year-to-year thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't do it, and so he sent us a letter saying, you've got 90 days to get out because we're going to make major renovations on the building, and that's a clause in your lease that says you have to get out. Now, about 5 weeks later, bang, the lockdown comes. And it proved to be actually good for us in a way, and it's a really long story if you really want me to tell it. But what happened was, when the lockdown came, we got this notice on the February the 5th of 2020, and we had to be out by May the 5th of 2020. Lockdown came the 25th of March.
22nd.
No, I have day ends that we were right up to the 25th.
Okay, 25th.
And so it gave us that many weeks to get out of there. Well, just with myself and my brother, we co-own the business here, Compact Music Incorporated in Ottawa. We've been in business for 43 years, not always under that name, but various businesses we've had over the years. And so we used that time to move everything from there to our one store here in the Glebe, which we opened in 1996 and have been here ever since. And so we did that. We're still closed, and we reopened after the long weekend in May, which is everybody knows is the May 2-4 weekend, and we were going strong, and business was really good, but we had 2 stores worth of stock in one store.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we have a garage in the back, so we had lots of space to, we had to build shelving and move everything, and it actually took us 5 weeks, just the 2 of us, to move everything, and we still didn't get 100% of everything, and you never can. And the reason we were thrown out was because, believe it or not, the landlord wanted to put in a cannabis shop, which he figured he could get more rent from. So,
Well, I bet he could.
now, as far as that goes, everybody was in lockdown. So downtown essentially becomes a ghost town. Nobody there. Now, if we had been, including us, and if we had been there, now I don't think we'd be surviving. It'd be really tough, especially with this particular landlord who would not apply for any kind of assistance on rent or anything. So that might have made it difficult.
Uh-huh.
And we would have had to pay him. In fact, the building manager went to the point of saying, well, if you couldn't pay the rent, sell your house to pay the rent. Which is really very pleasant and kind of him. So what a generous person, right? Anyway, didn't really like that, but so we end up here in the Glebe, and when we reopened, business was actually fairly strong because so many people are locked up in their homes and have nothing to do, and it seems that home entertainment during all recessions throughout my career have always the record industry and home-based businesses have always done well during recessions, because that's what drives people to those type of stores during these times. And so what are you laughing about?
You're absolutely right.
So, what?
You're right.
Okay.
You're
So
great.
since the start of lockdown, have you seen a lot of foot traffic go down?
Well, downtown, we've
yeah.
seen it being a ghost town. I have lots of friends down there that are suffering in business, and lots of papered up windows and all sorts of things like that. But when you consolidate, you move into a community-based area, people want to shop local, And so they are supporting the local stores, and that's a benefit to them as opposed to going to big box retailers that weren't shut down. And I don't quite understand that because, a big box retailer has many, many customers a day and many, many employees, whereas a small business has one or two people in it, control who comes in and out and how many people are in the business at any given time. No, not a hard thing to do. Whereas the big box retailers, well, they were allowed to continue and sell the stuff that the small people were making a living on. And the small business is the businesses that really drive the tax-based industry that the city tax needs and that the federal tax people need, such as GST and HST and all that kind of stuff. It's true.
Tom Brady just signed a
So-
4-year contract with the Bucks.
Oh, well, Tom Brady will be playing till he's 47, I guess.
Well,
Anyway,
he wasn't injured.
or 46. Yeah, well, it depends. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
How has
about
the
this.
government subsidies and government support been through this last year?
well,
Fantastic.
they've been good.
Hey,
Um,
guys. Good.
They definitely have
Good.
helped us out a bit, and it's made a difference.
WCDs are mainly up
Um,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean,
here, and there's a
I don't know where the government's
Yeah.
getting this money from,
Yeah.
but it's going to have to be paid back at some point, and where it's going to come from, I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see.
Here that might interest you.
But it's-
Melody Gardot.
Ian,
I feel
can you
sorry.
shut up? I'm doing an interview
I
here.
feel sorry for my kids.
I feel sorry for the future of the younger generation, indeed. I mean,
You'd like him
as
to
far
see
as this
Tom
pandemic
Brady.
goes,
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
um,
you'd like him. He's country, but
you
he's
know,
really
over the
good.
course of the last
No, I know you'd like that.
even 50 years, I've seen it. And I kind of saw this coming, but man has destroyed the earth, there's no question. We've raped and pillaged it to the point that, well, is there a return? Yes, of course. Mother Nature will return it, but it'll take a long time. And I don't know how the kids of today are going to deal with it. You saw things like the Greta girl there from Sweden doing her bit and all of that. But I really don't know how they're going to change things. When humans first came to Canada, when the
talking
Europeans, if you really want to get into it, you could actually walk on the water like Jesus did because there was so much fish off Newfoundland. Now you got to use fish finders to find them because there isn't any. There's very few. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on.
That's why we work at a record store.
Any more thoughts on just being a small business in the lockdown for the last year?
Well,
Some of the ups and downs.
it's really been tough on a lot of them, and a lot of them aren't going to make it. A lot of them haven't made it. Some of them are hanging on.
There's been some stores that closed already around you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. As I said, downtown, just go downtown, look at all the papered up windows, you'll see them. And that doesn't stop the city from raising the tax base. I mean, commercial taxes on property can go up 10-20% a year. People don't realize that. Not like residential where it's capped at 2 or 3%. The city just says, oh, well, we'll hit the business people. And we're the small business people that are really getting hit. So take it with a grain of salt, however you like. But, let those politicians, wherever they are, miss 5 or 6 paychecks and see how much they start whining. You can bet they will. Guaranteed. And, that's about all I have to say.
No, that's a great place to end it. Thank you very much.
That's the most I've heard you.